From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Reading Rodeo returns May 14th through the 17th with 4 big nights of rodeo action. Bulls, barrels, broncs, and big-time thrill. We even added breakaway roping. Get your tickets now at readingrodeo.com. The Reading Rodeo. 4 nights of rodeo excitement and fun for the whole family. Reading Rodeo, May 14th through the 17th. Get your tickets now at readingrodeo.com.
Well, unfortunately, those tickets are sold out, but if you do have tickets, you are in for a good time. Had a chance to head out there last night, and what a good time we had. So, we do have this morning another good time. How about those Asphalt Cowboys and their pancake breakfast from 5 a.m. until 10 a.m.? $7 at the door. I'd say that is worth it. And of course, all the money is for a good cause, right? But look at the temperatures. It's going to be a little chilly, especially if you're heading out there early in the morning. So make sure you grab something warm to wear, but it should warm up. By 10 a.m., we're up to about 73 degrees as they're wrapping up the breakfast. So yeah, a little on the chilly side, but that's pretty normal for this time of the year. Hey, if you're heading out to the Reading Rodeo for tonight, yes, tonight is, of course, looking at the doors are open at about 5 p.m. The rodeo starts at 7 p.m. There you can see a little bit on the warm side to start off here, but we are back down into the low 70s by the time we do get into 9 and 10 o'clock here for tonight. So it does look like we are going to be looking at some good weather once again for the Reading Rodeo bucking by the river. All right, warm and dry to wrap up the work week with cooler and isolated mountain showers on Saturday. Notice I put the word mountain in there because now and really the last couple of days, I've noticed that the chances for rain in the valley are pretty much non-existent at this point. Gusty north winds will return Sunday, unfortunately, and that's going to mean our first fire weather watch of the season with valley highs back to the 90s by next week. We're going to get into all of that here in just a bit, but let's take a look at your Krueger's Quickcast for your Friday, May 16th. Let's get out the door this morning, shall we? And again, a little on the chilly side, but shouldn't be too bad. Temperatures mid-60s at 8 a.m. For the valley. Looks like mainly in the 40s for most of the higher elevations and even along the coast. And the coast will probably be looking at some low clouds, maybe even some fog out there. So the clouds and even some rain that we saw kind of north and east of the Reading area, that's right here. That's moved out and down to the south and east. But we still have more clouds coming in from the west, but nothing to really bring us much in the way of rain for today for most of us, and you'll see what I'm talking about. As we take you through the morning and afternoon, here's midday, you can see some of the clouds developing, but still dry in the higher elevations. Now, there is a possibility we could see a stray shower pop up for parts of the eastern mountains, and in particular, it looks like it's mainly out towards central, southern Lassen County, maybe parts of Plumas County, seeing some of that as well. But dry for the valley, dry everywhere else, just some clouds moving in advance of a weak disturbance kind of pushing on through. You can see some low clouds and some fog developing for the coast tonight, maybe some high clouds for the valley tonight, but that will really be the extent of it. No rain in the forecast for most of us through the day today. Winds, though, yeah, a little breezy out there this morning. Looks like they should subside, though, by the second half of the day today, but still a little breezy coming in from the north and west. And then they'll pick up even more for Saturday, which we'll get into that here in a little bit. Temperatures mainly in the mid to even some upper 80s. A little bit warmer out there for today. It looks like in the 60s and 70s for the higher elevations. And the coast, you'll be looking at temperatures upper 50s, even some low 60s for your daytime highs. So here's your 7-day forecast for the valley. It's dry for the next 7 days, including Saturday. But the winds, that's what we've got to watch here for Sunday and Monday. That's that fire weather watch we'll be telling you about here in just a bit. There you can see the coast, inland and for Trinity County. All these areas mainly dry. Now tonight, early tomorrow morning, there may be a passing sprinkle. Maybe some drizzle, especially for the coast and some of the inland areas and maybe even Trinity County, but not amounting to much, if anything, and most of you will be asleep when it's happening. Now, it looks like for Siskiyou County, maybe a chance for an isolated shower. I'm not anticipating any thunderstorms. The best chances for thunderstorms, but few and far between, will be Modoc County and in the eastern mountains. Then it dries out entirely on Sunday and begins to warm up as we take you through next week. All right, that's a look at Krueger's Quickcast. Go out there and enjoy your Friday. But now we're going to go into the deeper dive forecast. And, you know, one of the ways that you can really watch my forecast and anywhere else is right from your TV. And you can do that from Roku, Fire Stick. You can just search for the apps there for Weather NorCal. And anywhere YouTube is available, including your smart TV, YouTube, great resource, 24-hour streaming channel there. And what I love about the YouTube app is you can watch my video forecasts on demand. All right, so let's get into the deeper dive. There you can see the clouds that moved through last night. That's all moved very quickly down to the south and east, and things have cleared out a bit for many of us here this morning. But we do have more clouds kind of coming in, and that'll be moving in here later this afternoon and evening. Now, I was talking about the chances for showers and thunderstorms east of the valley. Remember yesterday, it was a little more aggressive bringing it closer to the valley. I said I really want to take this area out. That's essentially what the Storm Prediction Center did. I don't think they watch Weather NorCal, but I think maybe they were listening. I don't know. But there you see some of the showers and thunderstorms mainly off to the east. And really, I think it's going to be mainly confined here. Slimmer chances as you do head to the west. So let's take a look at that here. Of course, today we're not really concerned a whole lot about showers or thunderstorms with the exception of maybe out towards Plumas County and Lassen County. But midday, you're mainly dry. And then by the afternoon, as we saw a little bit earlier, you can see around southern Lassen and into Plumas County, but dry for everyone else, but some cloud cover, especially out along the coast here tonight and tomorrow. Now you can see some of the drizzle that we're seeing develop here for parts of the coast. A little bit of mist drizzle trying to develop here for parts of the valley. But look at this. I mean, some activity developing late tonight, early tomorrow morning out towards Modoc County. That'll quickly move on out. So by 8 o'clock in the morning, not a lot of rain out there across the board, and it looks like clear skies to start off that day for the valley. And of course, we got the Reading Rodeo Parade. Should be dry for that. We just have some clouds in the higher elevations. Taking a midday, all right, now we're starting to see some of the showers and thunderstorms popping up in those areas in green we talked about, because we're looking at Saturday, right, midday. It's dry for the valley. We may see a pop-up sprinkle here and there for parts of northern Trinity County, maybe even a sprinkle out towards places like Siskiyou County, Del Norte, and Humboldt counties as well. Taking you through the afternoon, it's few and far between, folks. This is not widespread rain or thunderstorms in the mountains, because you can see by Saturday night, Saturday evening, it's really starting to dry out and will be dry by Saturday night. And Sunday will be a dry day as well, and more sunshine for your Sunday too. Now, I was talking about those winds picking up in lower humidity. As a result, we do have a fire weather watch that will take effect from 8 a.m. Sunday until 8 p.m. Monday, and mainly because of the gusty north winds and the dry conditions that we typically have around here. So let's take a look at the winds at least through Sunday. And there you can see the winds here this morning. They subside a little bit this afternoon, so that certainly is good. But you can see the winds picking up. And Saturday, I really do expect the winds to really pick up here, especially by the afternoon. Now we're talking possibly over 30 miles per hour. This is going to set the stage for even lower humidity as we go into your Sunday, and gusty winds even through midday Sunday, Sunday afternoon, and even into Monday. We're expecting those winds to be fairly strong as well. Do want to show you the fire weather risk, because that's something we need to really start paying attention to. And I've been showing you this the last couple of weeks because it has to be in the back of our mind. Even though this is our first fire weather watch of the season, we've got to just be aware. So no fire weather watch today. Humidities are still fairly low though. We're down to 15-20%. We're recovering a little bit. We get close to 50% overnight in the early morning hours, but by Saturday afternoon, you can see around 20, even close to 30%. Now, the reason it's a little bit higher, temperatures are dropping. That should help. And we got some of that moisture moving in, and that's what's helping to bring in those showers and thunderstorms off to the north and east. So with all of that said, we looked at the fire weather watch. We also look at the fire potential, and the areas in yellow is where you have low risk. Bottom line, that's just elevated. You need to start thinking about it. And that is for both Sunday and Monday. So what's the overall setup? Well, the high fire danger setting up here is this. We've got low pressure that's going to be riding down. This is known as an inside slider, folks, and that's the typical north wind that we set up because we've got high pressure towards south and west. Tightly packed lines or isobars here. That's what's going to give us the gusty winds for Sunday. Now, as that low pressure dives to the south, it's going to keep those winds fairly strong as long as that high pressure is here. Those isobars, you'll notice, are spreading apart a little bit, so the winds may not be as strong on Monday, but still gusty nonetheless and high fire danger. Now, the winds will die down by Tuesday through next week, and then our focus is going to be on the heat that's building in. Now, you're probably hearing about a big ridge of high pressure building over the United States, over the western U.S. I don't see a big ridge building in by any stretch of the imagination. The main ridge is way down to our south and east, but that ridge, that dome of high pressure, is expanding into Northern California. But this is not a very strong ridge that's building in, although it is showing signs of being a little bit stronger than initially thought, because you can see it extends into the Pacific Northwest, but not the most organized, not the strongest of ridges. And as I mentioned, that bigger dome of heat is mainly down to our south and east. That being said, it's still going to be warm out there, folks. I'm not trying to downplay that at all, but I don't expect upper 90s to even 100 degrees. We're talking temperatures mainly in the low to maybe some mid 90s for Monday through Friday and even into next weekend. But look at that over the weekend, looking absolutely gorgeous, kind of hovering around that 80-degree mark. Looking at the lake levels, and you can see they have dropped a little bit here for both Lake Shasta Lake and Trinity Lake. Lake Oroville has seen just that slight increase, but look at that 99% capacity for Lake Oroville. Now, looking at the wave heights for today, they're not too bad, actually. There are no small craft advisories for today, but I do expect those wave heights to probably increase, especially for Saturday afternoon and into Sunday. No small craft advisories for today, but that may change here as we do go into the weekend. Here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Your temperatures are going to be the upper 70s to about 80 degrees for some of those warmer spots here. I'm expecting dry conditions minus some of that drizzle and mist that we will see late tonight and early tomorrow morning, especially along the coast, some of the inland areas, and maybe even Trinity County. But there you can see 73 degrees for Orleans today, 66 degrees for Smith River, and McKinleyville about 60. Now for Siskiyou County, yes, okay, maybe a slight chance for an isolated shower or a sprinkle on Saturday, but it's dry today and warmer too. Temperature of about 68 degrees for Canby, as well as California Pines that is, and about 66 degrees in Cedarville. And there's your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. Now again, you see the thunderstorms in the forecast. It's going to be few and far between. It's going to be very much isolated, so a lot of you will make it through the day in the Eastern Mountains without even seeing a drop of rain or even a thunderstorm. But some of you could see that chance through the afternoon tomorrow. There's your Valley neighborhood forecast to the south. Could see some upper 80s. It's getting a little bit warmer out there, but it does drop again on Saturday. There are those winds and warmer temperatures as we do go into next week. Let's take you up to the north, 87 degrees for Redding, as well as Anderson, 81 for Lakehead, and Whiskeytown and Bella Vista, about 86 degrees. There's your 7-day forecast for Redding. Of course, put that Redding Rodeo in there, right? Kind of exciting times, and that's through Saturday. And yeah, earlier this week, like Monday, Tuesday, I had some raindrops in there for Saturday. It was a little bit concerning. No need to worry, folks. You got dry conditions here for the rodeo today and tomorrow. The winds are picking up, by the way, on Saturday too, so you'll probably notice that at the rodeo, but at least it's not raining. And then gusty winds, especially for Sunday, Monday. That's the high fire danger as a result, but it's warming up. Temperatures in the low to possibly even some mid-90s from Monday through pretty much all of next week. That's your morning update. I'll be back again at noon with the latest forecast. Have a great morning.
This May, get active with the Shasta Bike Month and Challenge. For both beginner and experienced cyclists, you can ride anywhere, anytime during the month of May. Whether it's to work, the store, or a leisurely spin on a trail, every ride counts. Join the challenge and log your rides with the Love to Ride platform. Compete as a team of coworkers, friends, or family. Every bike ride you take earns you chances to win local prizes. Sign up today at ShastaBikeChallenge.org.